day has finally come. I have some really exciting news to share with you, so stay tuned. Hello, servus, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Felicia, as you probably know, and as you can see, I'm not alone.
Hey guys.
And some of you have probably already seen it on my Instagram or in my last video or on the podcast I was a guest on that I have an announcement to make today.
Or maybe
we have an announcement,
yes.
And yeah, it's pretty exciting news for both of us.
Yeah.
We've been working on this for a while now, like
A couple months.
a few months. And then I broke my wrist in the meantime, so everything got delayed even more. But I guess we can finally tell you, and we're very excited, that we are launching a podcast.
Yes, we are.
And actually today it's already out. The first episode was released today on October 22nd, so you can check it out right now after you've watched this video, of course. And it's called Understanding Train Station.
Exactly. Which I think the name is probably a little confusing for some of the English speakers out there who don't speak German.
They're gonna think, hey, we're gonna talk about trains, but nope, that's not what we're doing.
Far from it. But essentially it comes from the German idiom Ich verstehe nur Bahnhof, which in English literally translated is I only understand train station. But it means the same thing as it's Greek to me, so I don't understand anything.
Yeah, and so basically the podcast is gonna be based on the previous videos that we've done on this channel, which like there's 2 videos where we just talked for half an hour, then there's 2 tongue twister videos with Josh. They're all linked in the description box below. But yeah, we sat down twice to just have a conversation about our bilingual friendship, and then you guys really liked it, and a lot of you guys commented that we should think about doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And we had never thought about that before, but
No.
then
Far from it.
yeah, then we were like, well, why not? But it took a while for the idea to grow on us because we weren't really sure if that's something that's doable.
Exactly. Well, I was going to say too, I think for me, I come from a more traditional background where I'm not a YouTuber or a podcaster. And one thing that surprised me is the amount of work that goes into all of this. So it's fun to be able to finally give it to you guys and put it out in the world.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you don't want to start a podcast and then end it after a few weeks. So like we really made sure that we're ready for this and we have enough content and a concept. And so now we're already at the point that everything's launching. So we're very happy to share it with you finally.
And really the goal of what we're doing is to be able to help you guys understand kind of from our perspective of what it's like to live in another culture. The idea of understanding train station is to take the nonsense or the things that are confusing that you don't understand, that you only understand as train station, and make it something that's understandable and is accessible, and that you guys can learn from our experiences.
Yeah, and I guess we're not only explaining things, we're also just talking about our failures, our funny stories, just basically what we did in those YouTube videos, just, you know, in a bigger format. And it's also a lot less restricted. We can just sit down and talk and chat.
It means less editing for you.
Less editing, a little more, you know, informal and more like a normal conversation for us.
And I think one thing that's cool too is that it's not just between the two of us. One of the goals that we have with this podcast is to kind of broaden the base. So not only Germany and the US, which of course is going to be the focus because that's our personal experiences, but we'll be bringing people from other countries in as well, people from other areas of Germany where neither of us have spent much time. So I think really that's one thing that I'm excited about is really hearing other people's perspective of what it's like to live abroad, but not from the US or Germany.
Yeah, exactly. So we're kind of starting with like the point of view that you guys know from my channel, and then we're going from there and we're expanding that horizon a little bit with other people that are going to be on our podcast.
Aber im Herzen bleiben wir Deutsch.
We're still German at heart. One thing that I should say, we're not going to speak German on the podcast, at least not in the beginning. So you should be able to understand English fairly well to be able to follow everything.
But I do have to say, we do kind of slip back into German every once in a while. I'm a bad culprit of that when I can't come up with the English word.
Like there's gonna be a word or two in every episode, and because we usually speak in German to each other, so to us it's more common to speak in German. So to summarize it, the podcast is about living between cultures, it's about being lost in translation, about figuring life out in another country, living abroad, being an expat, and it's gonna be out once a week, every Thursday, and you can listen to it on all the podcast platforms, so Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and you can also, if you want to, listen and watch at the same time on our YouTube channel because we created our own YouTube channel.
Yes, we did. I'm
task-
finally officially a YouTuber.
You're a YouTuber now. So your task now, after this video, is to go over to the other YouTube channel, which is called Understanding Train Station. It's also linked below. It's going to be linked up in the corner somewhere. Go over there, subscribe, check out the first episode because it's already online now. Give it a like, give it a comment, and hopefully you're going to enjoy it and be part of this journey with us.
And also make sure you go and follow us on Instagram. If you want to support us on Patreon, we have that set up.
Yeah.
Buy me a coffee. We also have a website, understandingtrainstation.com. And also make sure you just leave us a 5-star review when you listen to our podcast as well. It really helps us out.
Yeah, well, we just started to be podcasters, but
we've heard that it helps us out.
Yeah.
And then also, if you don't want to communicate with us through Instagram or any of that, we also have an email that we set up, which is understandingtrainstation@gmail.com.
Yeah, so please send us feedback and input because, I mean, we're just starting this, so we're very open for any kind of feedback and input that you guys have for us. And since
But be nice.
Yeah, be nice. But I was going to say that since it's like a more open format, we can also maybe include some of your feedback and input and maybe some of your stories into a podcast episode.
So if this sounds interesting to you, make sure you hop aboard and listen to our podcast that comes out every Thursday.
Get on the train with us. Yeah, every Thursday, make sure you subscribe also on the podcast platforms and of course like activate the bell on YouTube so that you get notified. But if you don't get the notification, just remember every Thursday there's going to be a new episode. Yeah, and that's it. That's all we have to say for now.
We look forward to seeing you guys there.
Yeah, we're excited. And I hope I'll see you next time on this channel and also hopefully on the new channel and all the podcast platforms and our new Instagram page and everything. Yeah, thanks for your support in advance. And
we look forward to seeing you guys there.
Tschüss.
Servus.
3, 2, 1. We've got a surprise! Das war voll wie so ein altes Ehepaar.
Oh
so
Gott,
die Voicemail-Ansage zu sagen. I've got a surprise for you.
Hey.